وَآتُوا الْيَتَامَى أَمْوَالَهُمْ. The second downtrodden section of the society, orphans. Women and then orphans. The women have been exalted. The womb of the mother brought closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. وَاتَّقُوا الْأَرْحَامَ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهَ الَّذِي تَسَأَلُونَ بِهِ وَالْأَرْحَامَ. The position of the mother, the respect that you must show to her. Al-Jannatu tahta aqdam al-ummahat. The Prophet said, paradise is under the feet of the mother. Now the second section, downtrodden, oppressed. Atul yatama amwala. Hand over to the orphans their properties and belongings. If somebody has died, he has left orphans. They are still minor. They can't look after their affairs. The whole thing goes in the hands of the uncles. And now those uncles are not giving over the property of the orphans to them. They are eating it up. So these are now deprived. You must hand over the property of the orphans to them. Don't change anything which is bad of your possession with something which is good in their possession. I will give these things to him. Well, the bad thing I can place here. I will complete the number of this orphan. Your father had left 10 camels. Well, I have given you 10 camels, but not the good camels that the father had left, but the weak ones, the diseased ones. وَلَا تَتَبَدَّلُوا الْخَبِيثَ بِالطَّيِّبِ وَلَا تَأْكُلُوا أَمْوَالَهُمْ إِلَىٰ أَمْوَالِكُمْ. Don't try to eat up their property by mixing it with your own property. When you intermix the two, then it's very easy to be dishonest. You must keep the property of the orphan, which is under your guardianship, separate, discreet. Don't mix it with yours so that you can, knowingly or unknowingly, you misuse your authority and you eat up their property. إِنَّهُ كَانَ حُوبًا كَبِيرًا. Verily, it's a very big crime in the eyes of Allah. وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى. And if you fear, you are afraid that you will not be able to do justice to the orphan girls. This ayah is very important because some of the people who don't believe in hadith or sunnah of the Prophet, the munkareen of sunnah, they have misinterpreted this ayah. The real interpretation comes from a hadith from Aisha radiyallahu ta'ala anha. And we shall see that very explanation is given by Quran itself in ayah number 127 of this very surah. We shall read it, inshallah. What is the background of this ayah? Because if somebody had minor orphan girls under his guardianship, and that minor girl had some property also which was left over by her parents, now a person who is the guardian marries her. There's no need of giving any dowry. She's under your control. She's already under your thumb. And there's nobody to ask for her rights. You can treat her as you like. Because she was an orphan. She didn't have anybody, any father, any brothers to look after her rights. So they used to do it. Well, this is the orphan. I marry her. Now all the property comes to me, and nobody is there to ask for the rights of this orphan girl. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى. If you are afraid that you won't be able to do justice in case of the orphan girls. Here yatama means the orphan girls. فَانْكِحُوا. Don't marry them, but marry مَا تَابَ لَكُم مِنَ النِّسَاءِ. You can marry other women who please you, whom you like. Masna wa sulasa wa ruba'. The Sharia of Allah is allowing you to have 2 wives at a time, 3 at a time, even 4 at a time, not more. That is the last. Masna wa sulasa wa ruba'. There are so many women. If you have to marry, you can marry other women. Don't marry this orphan girl which is under your guardianship, because justice to her. and she will not be backed by any support from her own family. So you are very much liable to do injustice. وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تُقْسِطُوا فِي الْيَتَامَى فَانكِحُوا مَا طَابَ لَكُم مِّنَ النِّسَاءِ مَثْنَىٰ وَثُلَاثَ وَرُبَاعَ. You are allowed to marry 2 or 3 or 4 at a time. وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. But this permission of marrying more than one woman is conditional. In خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. If you are afraid you won't be able to do justice between these wives, فَوَاحِدَةٌ. Then you should have only one wife, because you have to do justice. Justice in all the measurable things. All the measurable things. The time that you spend with this wife must be equal to the time you are spending with the other wife. The money that you are giving monthly for household management to this wife, the same money should be given to the other wife. Anything which can be counted, which can be measured, must be absolutely equal. That is the condition. وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا. Permission is there. You can have 2 wives, 3 wives, 4 wives at a time. But this is the condition. You have to fulfill justice. Only there is one exception. There may be your heart is more inclined to one and not that much inclined to the other. But this is beyond your control. And this will be made clear in this very surah. We shall find in the next passages that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted that this is the weakness of man. So this is pardonable. But whatever can be measured or counted, in that absolute equality has to be maintained. Time, money, dresses, etc., etc., dwelling, this must be absolutely equal at par with each other. وَإِنْ خِفْتُمْ أَلَّا تَعْدِلُوا فَوَاحِدَةٌ أَوْ مَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ. In addition to the wives, you can have those slave girls whom your right hands possess. They are besides. They are not counted in wives. Wives are separate. ذَلِكَ أَدْنَىٰ أَلَّا تَعُولُوا. This is more likelier that you won't go astray and you won't deviate from the right path. So if you keep only one wife, you are saved from doing any injustice. You will not be responsible on the day of judgment for any injustice to any one of them. So it's better to have one. This is persuasion. It's safer to have one. But you are allowed. There can be circumstances that a person needs more than one wife. You can, but you have to do justice. Full justice to all your wives. And not beyond 4.